Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on heavyweight boxer Harry Armstrong. He's 5 wins, 2 defeats with 1 draw, and he's back out in Torquay on May 18th. You said it was against Jake Darnell. And how many rounds is it?
It'll either be 4 or 6 rounds. I think it's going to be four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get into your career at the moment, talk about how you got into the sport of boxing.
It's a long answer. My dad basically took me up to a boxing gym when I was 12. I entered on a Monday evening. And I don't think I ever left. So the moment I stepped into a gym, I fell in love with boxing, and I have boxed ever since.
And how old were you?
12 when I started. I'm 31 now, so I'm going on quite a while.
Did you have like a big amateur career or?
I had 29 amateur fights. Won the junior ABAs. Um, Picked up a couple of sort of amateur belts along the way. I think as many fights as I would have liked, but I was obviously from Devon. There's not a lot of heavyweights around, so I fought on the road a lot, basically.
hmm Were you happy with your amateur career?
I was immensely happy with the experience I got and the coaches I had and the clubs that I boxed for.
hmm yeah, let's talk about, of course, you made your pro debut back in 2020. It was in March and hang on, let me pronounce it. Miliv Slav Pavek. We'll go on that, otherwise we'll be here all day. But yes, you won 40-36 and that was at your call.
Yeah. I was quite lucky in the end because I made my pro debut 2 weeks before we went into the coronavirus lockdown. And that obviously put a massive stop to all boxing for a very long time. So I was quite fortunate I was able to squeeze that one in just before the lockdown. Enjoyed it, absolutely loved it. Yeah, I just can't wait to get back in there once we eventually got going again.
What show was your debut on?
It was on a Steve Goodwin show at Your Call.
hmm yeah, and then you made your second fight in 2021 October. That's when the boxing, sort of came back after the lockdown. Yeah, you fought Phil Williams in Plymouth, 39-37. Do you agree with the scorecard of 39-37?
No, not at all. Now, I won every round of that fight, but it is what it is. Um, I know I won every round. My team do so.
Yeah, so I mean, I see some of these cards at local shows when they give the journeyman around due to the fact, sometimes the prospects slowed the pace down a little bit. But they've still won the round easily. But I don't know with some of these scorecards recently. Yeah.
I think recently there's been a lot of dubious scorecards. I don't really want to get into that or calling anything out, but it is what it is. If a ref decides that a round needs to go to the opponent, then so be it.
Yeah, exactly that. Then you fought in Watford, Matt Metis, 40-36 win.
Yep. Again, it was a couple of months after, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that fight. And I fought in Watford straight after that again, I think.
Yeah, and you fought Jake Darnell, who you're boxing in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, that was 59-55, and yeah, talk about that one.
Jake's very competitive. He's strong. He's game. He comes and gives it his all. Um, again, I went around to that fight, but it is what it is. A win is a win. It was a solid win, a clear win. That was my first 6 rounder. So yeah, it was great to get that experience.
Yeah, 100%. And then you fought in a Torquay against Lamar Griggs, and that was a 4 round tear up, that one, 39-37. What a fight.
It was an awesome fight. He's incredibly tough, Lamar. He really does come out swinging and gives it his all. Um, he's had a couple of fights since where I would have clearly given him the decision, but he scored draws and losses. But I guess that's the life of a journeyman. So is what it
He's
is.
way better than his record says, though, isn't he?
He's a lot better than his record says. Yeah, he's very strong, very game. And technically he's pretty good too.
Yeah. And was that your first fight in Torquay, that one?
It was my first pro fight in Torquay. Yeah,
How was that, your first homecoming? I mean,
it was incredible.
you sold loads of tickets by the sounds of things. I mean, I was watching it on the live stream.
Yeah, obviously I sold a ton of tickets, but it was also because it was my home show. Even everyone knew it was there, even though I hadn't necessarily sold everyone a ticket. I knew them; they were there to support me. So yeah, it was absolutely incredible to box in front of a home crowd.
Hmm. Then you fought Joel Disali. He was 1-0. It was in Bristol and it was 57-57, a draw.
Yes, never ever a draw. I won that. Yeah, there were a couple of close rounds, but a draw was to me and my team an absolute robbery.
Were you the away fighter in that one?
No, it's supposed to be the home fire.
Oh.
Yeah,
Look, is that the one where that you fight in the car park? Is that the one in
it is
Bristol?
underground underneath the multi-story. It's actually it's if you think you're boxing in a car park on the ground, it sounds a bit mad, but it's actually a really cool venue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many rounds do you believe you won on the night? And were you a bit shocked when they announced it as a draw?
I believe I won 5 rounds clearly, and one was tight and could maybe give him a round, but everyone was shocked. I was shocked, and the crowd was shocked. Everyone was shocked at the decision.
Yeah. And then you fought at Wembley Arena against Jamie TKV. Another great fight. It was 77-75. Another close one that could have gone either way.
Yeah, a lot of close fights. Yeah, it was incredibly close. Um, I think in hindsight, a draw would have been. Well, obviously, I thought I nicked that fight by a round. It was incredibly close. I won the first 3 rounds clearly, dropped a couple, and then won one later on, definitely. And then again, I think I pinched another round towards the end. But the away fighter against an away in the away corner, it's very tough to get a decision.
Yeah, I
But
mean, how was it for the first time, boxing on Sky Sports and Wembley Arena as well?
the experience was phenomenal. The venue was awesome. The crowd was massive, and that was completely brand new. Five, six, maybe 7,000 people there. I got one a lot of fans that night, and I loved it. And obviously, it made me the fighter I am. Helped me get onto that big stage, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly that, mate. Do you believe you won that one?
Again, a completely fair decision being away fighter, you'd give it a draw, but I still reckon I did enough to pinch it. But again, as the away fighter, it's incredibly difficult to get the decision.
Is that something that you might want to run back in the future?
I'd love to run back both my losses, definitely, at some point in the future, hopefully for titles.
Yeah, 100%. And then you fought Johnny Fisher at the O2 for the Southern Area title. And yeah, unfortunately, it was a seventh round TKO defeat. Talk about that fight at the O2 Arena.
The that was immense. That the whole setup, the week leading up to it, the media side of it, the face off side of it, everything was absolutely incredible. Obviously the fight didn't go my way. I thought I was having some really good spells in that fight. But I got cut and my corner stopped it because of the amount of blood. Obviously that loss really hurts, and is one I definitely want to run back in the future. Um, a hell of an experience and incredible to box on an AJ undercard.
What was your thoughts? I mean, you got knocked down in the first. When you got back up, what was going through your mind at that moment?
What you doing, you idiot? Get on with it. Get up. You're boxing.
Were you hurt with that shot, that one?
I wasn't hurt. No, it's more of just a shock more than anything. When I got up as faster than I went down, and I felt completely clear-headed and able to continue. So no, I was absolutely fine.
Yeah, and some people, after they get knocked down early on in the fight, they take a few rounds to recover. But with you, straight back to throwing fire with fire straight away.
100%, especially going down in the first round. You've got to just get up, bite down on your gum shield, and crack on with it.
Hmm. Yeah, it was a good fight, and I think that stole the show in my opinion. That one.
I believe it was fight of the night, and it won a Southern Area Fight of the Year. So, my eyes, it was an awesome fight, and I think in a lot of other people's eyes, it was an incredible fight too.
Do you know if Johnny's vacated the belt yet, or has he still got it?
I'm not 100% sure on that at the moment. It's something that we as a team are waiting to find out on. Hopefully we'll, so I can fight for it again, but we will see.
Yeah. What fight was harder to take, like the TKV fight or the Johnny Fisher defeat?
Probably the Johnny Fisher defeat because of the manner of the defeat, getting stopped in the 7th round. Also getting dropped. Never been in that position before, so that and the size of the audience and the show it was on. It was desperately fighting for that to be my breakout fight. So that one was probably a little bit harder to take than a Jamie TKV fight.
Hmm. Out of them two, who would you say like hits harder of the two of them?
I'd probably say Fisher.
Hmm. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah. So you've got your upcoming fight in May. Back in your hometown. You said it was 4 or 6 round or 6 rounder, but you've got Jake Darnell again. Armstrong v Darnell too, sort of thing. But yeah. Oh, actually, before we get into that, I remember what I was going to say now. Why did you? Because of course you was meant to be boxing on a Nielsen show in November. Why did that get cancelled?
I had a small injury in my shoulder, and I just wasn't able to train at the pace I needed to train to get fit enough for that one, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Armstrong Darnell too. Talk about how that fight came about.
We needed a fight. Obviously it was a home show, so I was desperate to get on it. Um, and I leave all my matchmaking up to my manager. He does me who I'm fighting, where I'm fighting, when I'm fighting. I turn up with the gloves and the gum shield and get on with it.
Yeah. Do you have a promoter or just manager?
I just have a manager at the moment. I'm not signed to any promotional team at the moment.
Hmm. So that's why you're fighting all up and down the country. You fought in York a few times, London, back up in Torquay.
Yeah, obviously, it leaves me a bit freer to kind of jump on different shows and fight as and when. Um, at the moment, it's working out well for me. But obviously, it would be nice to get a couple of big wins and get a good promoter on side as well.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I know full focus is on Darnell, but I mean, do you put pressure on yourself knowing, that you've already got a fight lined up after that, or?
There's always pressure on myself. I always put pressure on myself because that's when you perform your best. That's when I train my best. Um, I give every single training session 100% effort. I leave everything in the gym every single time I train so that I can be as prepared as possible when I get in the ring. So, although I do have another fight lined up after, I'm not really thinking about that at the moment. All I'm thinking about is Saturday, May the 18th in Torquay and getting a fantastic win there, and then we'll go again and focus on the next fight.
Hmm. And yeah, of course, yeah, Jake Darnell, we spoke about him a bit earlier. But yeah, I mean, I think he fought Dave Allen a few weeks ago. So he is tough and even though in the early stage of his career he got stopped a few times, but I mean he's got better since you fought him last time, in my opinion.
He's definitely got better. He's improved with every fight, and to be fair to him, he ever fights incredibly good opposition. Obviously, fighting Dave Allen in his last fight, he would have been just as eager to win that as Dave Allen was. So he brought out the best in him. I watched the fight. I actually thought it was a really good performance by them both. So yeah, I'm expecting an improved, very tough, very strong, and very hungry to get a win, Jake Darnell.
Yeah, maybe a stoppage this time round. I mean, you didn't stop him last time, so maybe you might get him out of there. But the main thing is that you get
That's
the win.
the first thing is to get the win, but we're working on a few things, and we are definitely after getting the stoppage in that fight.
How excited are you to be returning to the ring?
Oh, it's been too long coming out. I'm ready right now. If it told me the fight was this Saturday, I'd jump at it and get in there. I'm more than ready to go for it.
Yeah, for fans who want to come and support you that night, how much are tickets and yeah.
The stand tickets are £40 and VIP ringside are £80. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, drop me a message. But it'd be great to have as much support as possible there.
What can fans expect from you on May 18th?
And absolutely explosive and destructive performance.
Do you know what time you'll be on, or do you just find that out like on the week of the fight sort of thing?
Normally find out a couple of days before the fight. The show first fight's 7:30, so I would imagine 9, 9:30-ish, roughly, I'd be on.
hmm Um, yeah, before I let you go, Harry, do you want to thank anyone who's helping you on your journey at the moment?
I want to thank all of my sponsors, my incredible sponsors. I've got Josh Langford from Zenith, Jason from Ocean Marine Boat Sales, um, Jason Bowden from Bowden Autos, Greg from Loopy Parrot, who does all my kit, which is an endless task. Matty from CRS Clean, who's sponsored me for a very long time. Luke Collins, who sponsored me again for a very, very long time. It's one of my best friends. Yeah. Also, we've got my incredible physio puts me back together, Mark Trays, and my family and my fiance who puts up with me. One, never being around because I'm always training. I only see her on sort of a Saturday and half day Sunday. My mum, my dad who have backed me for a very long time, and my fantastic sisters and my closest mates as well.
And from me, Harry, thank you for your time and good luck on May 18th, mate. All the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
Anytime. Bye, mate.
Bye.